think I saw something. Stop worrying. We'll be fine. Think I got something.
Hunter meets hunted in the new limited time mode Ewok Hunt, starting April 18th.
Pick your class and
earn your battle points.
Because it's time for the Star Wars Battlefront podcast. Welcome to episode 132 of the Star Wars Battlefront podcast. I'm your host, Sage Goodwin, joined by my brother and co-host, Sam Goodwin.
Hello there.
In this episode, we'll be going over the Ewok Hunt, game mode, and much more that will be added in the newest update to Battlefront 2.
Let's get started.
Beneath the evening skies of Endor, the might of the Empire means little to the Ewoks as they fight for control of their homeworld. In Ewok Hunt, Star Wars Battlefront 2's exciting new mode, spears and blasters battle for dominance as a squad of stormtroopers are ambushed by a tribe of Ewoks, descending from the trees to channel their hidden fury. Available only for a limited time, Ewok Hunt lets you stalk your Imperial enemy under the cover of night, or desperately fight to hold off the pint-sized throngs until you can escape. Ewok Hunt is coming to Battlefront 2, Sam.
Yes, our first experience with the Hunt game mode in this edition of Battlefront.
Oh yes, I cannot wait to play as these little furballs. I've been seeing a lot of people being negative about it though.
How so?
Well, a lot of people think the Ewoks are the Jar Jar of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just hungry for a season 2.
Which will be coming.
Yes, they've said it's coming. They even mentioned it later on. But this is awesome to see in between season 2. Just a new limited time game mode that isn't just jump pack cargo with a new map. This is a completely new game mode, a new style of game mode. So Ewoks, you'll be able to play as Ewoks.
Yeah, well, this is the first time in Battlefront that you can play as a less humanoid character.
Yeah, we've had aliens before through skins, but we haven't had like a whole new like smaller regular trooper.
Yeah,
like we've got the Ewok trooper or the Wookiees.
Yeah, but those are humanoid as well.
Yeah, they're just taller humans basically. But these are super small. These are like Yoda scale, and they're going to be added in the new game mode.
Yeah, finally we're seeing something different in limited time game modes. Like jetpack cargo was basically an extension of the game. This is completely different.
Yes, this is something we haven't seen in Battlefront 2 before. Unless you count the original Battlefront 2, because in the original Battlefront 2 released in 2005, they did have hunt game modes where you could play as Ewoks on Endor against the Imperials, and they had a Hoth Hunt game mode where you could play as the...
Yeah, they also had a few other ones. There was the Jar Jar race, the Gungans that you could play against, and then you had... you could play as Jawas on Mos Eisley.
Yeah, and then the Hoth game mode, you could play as the Wampas. So it's awesome to see the callback to the original Battlefront and just fulfilling my dreams of a game mode like this, because like from the beginning, from Battlefront 2015, I've wanted a hunt game mode like this. We had teases in the beginning of Battlefront 2015 with the sounds of Wookiees behind doors on the Hoth maps. Wampas. We've had just teases before of a hunt game mode. It turned out to be like a hero hunt was what they were mentioning, but fans were over the moon ecstatic for a game mode where you get to play as the non-human aliens, like you were saying.
And also the way that they're doing the game mode at night is really cool.
Yes.
It's like a horror aspect to it.
From what I've gathered, it may be equal on both sides. So I think that's a way to even out the odds because the Ewoks are so small.
I hope the Ewoks have like night vision.
Night. How would they have night vision?
Because they live in the forest and it's always dark. Or they at least have an ability where they can see
Like
everyone
scope out
in the
everyone?
area.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because the Ewoks are so small, and like Ewoks in the 2005 Battlefront 2 were extremely hard to kill. Like they were the same height as the grasses on Endor. So I'm interested to see how they actually tackle that in terms of gameplay. Like, are the Ewoks going to be weaker? Are they going to maybe move towards a more like they do mention a like more stealth focused game mode, but we'll see how that turns out and like what the objective is and how that'll work.
Because we know that the Ewoks are going to have spears and rocks they can throw.
Yes.
That leaves a possible middle card that maybe, like I said, that they could have like 5 seconds where they can see all their surroundings rather than it being pitch dark.
Yeah. And I think like for range attack, maybe they have slingshots.
Spears are ranged. You can throw spears and rocks, so it's kind of really ranged right now.
What's going to be what I would love to see is if you can activate traps, like have spears just shoot out of the ground if you hit a certain spot, or if like maybe you have big logs that can be activated by the Ewoks. Maybe that's your objective, like destroy a base or an ATST or something like that. I would love to see that part of the movies implemented in the game mode.
Maybe they have different classes with the Ewoks rather than just a set. Maybe you have a variation.
Maybe.
Like they have the base one with the rocks and the spears. Then they have a second class that can possibly place traps down.
Yeah. What my biggest hope for, because I'm already in love with the game mode, I want them later on to release all of the game modes permanently as like a season. I would love to see that.
And I don't know how this game is going to play out, but I'm going to really want it to stay in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want it to be a limited time game mode. I hope
it is. Before we go any further, this is a limited time game mode, so you will have to keep up to date on it. And it starts April 18th, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I want it. Like, I haven't even played it yet, just saw the trailer, and I already want it to be a permanent game mode.
And hopefully, eventually down the line, we'll have a whole hunt loop that has all the hunts they've added.
I would love to see that, like a Wampa hunt. Or they kind of have like the Wampa format with the Wookiees already, and I would love to see Jawas or Gungans. Gungans would be so awesome because then that could be like tied into like a prequels era season with maybe Jar Jar Binks. Misa in Battlefront 2, woohoo! Went little Mario there.
So are you confirming a Jar Jar season?
I would love to see a Jar Jar season. Like if they add Gungans, I don't see any reason why they couldn't add Jar Jar.
So who would be his enemy?
The villain for the season?
Yeah. His self?
Oh, that is a good question. Let's see. Jar Jar Binks. Like it doesn't have to be specifically tied into him. It could just be a villain in
Darth
the
Jar
prequels
Jar?
era. Darth Jar, that would be awesome. Like have just a whole Jar Jar season. But let's see. Again, like throughout Star Wars, the villain side is so small, but the heroes are so big. If we're going like interesting heroes or villains, I'd love to see maybe like maybe General Grievous is the villain, or IG-88. I'd love to see IG-88.
Yeah.
Now let's continue on to the post on the website. We'll have this linked in the description. The battle begins. In the new mode, you start as an Ewok or in a group of stormtroopers. The ambush begins as the Ewoks attack the unsuspecting stormtroopers, using spears, whisties, and whatever abilities they can muster to take down the intruders. Each stormtrooper defeated spawns as another Ewok. If the Empire's forces have completely been eliminated, the Ewoks win and their celebration can begin. That is awesome.
So they will have more abilities because they say abilities they can muster.
Yes.
So hope they'll probably have power-ups that you can pick up.
I love the fact that each stormtrooper defeated spawns as another Ewok.
Imagine
that's kind of like zombie, the zombie game mode, like every time you die, you become part of the enemy.
Imagine if when they kill a stormtrooper, they can pick up their weapon for a short amount of time.
I love that idea. That would be so fun. However, the Stormtroopers' superior training and firepower are more than a match for the frantic Ewoks. Armed with an arsenal of weapons as well as flashlights to cut through the darkness, players must hold back the Ewok ambush if they have hope of surviving until an extraction team can arrive. So Stormtroopers have like a night vision thing with flashlights.
So that means the Ewoks are going to have, I want to say that they're going to have night vision to some extent.
Mm-hmm. Maybe kind of like Bosk, where if they do get flashed by the flashlight, it's kind of like a blinding effect.
Yeah. At least they have better vision in the dark, not to where it's like completely daylight to them.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I am so pumped for this. Like, this is such a good idea for a game mode. The fact that like it's all stealth based, like I can see this becoming like pretty frightening. Like where are the Ewoks? Where are the Ewoks? I don't know where they are. Like, I would love to see that.
And the way that you switch, like you're not always playing the Ewoks or the Stormtroopers, you always switch through the game mode.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. I don't know how it's going to play out when the match is over and one side wins, because you'll all be playing each side equally.
I think it may be like they start off, because it's going to start off even. So, like, an even amount of Ewoks to Stormtroopers. And then that'll just switch at the beginning of the next round. So if you started out as a Stormtrooper on the first round, you're going to start out as an Ewok in the second round, and vice versa. That's what I'm taking away.
But again, they said that when you die, you spawn back as a Stormtrooper.
No, you die, you spawn back as an Ewok.
As a Stormtrooper, okay.
As a Stormtrooper, if
now.
you die, you spawn as an Ewok.
So then again, the Stormtroopers are kind of going to be the like clutching.
Yes.
Aspect.
So I can definitely see the Ewoks being more weaker, but they can use the surroundings to their advantage.
It is like an infection game mode, really.
Yes. And like there is a picture on the website that perfectly wraps up what I think this game mode will be. It's got 2 Stormtroopers with flashlights on their guns. And then surrounding them, they've got 5 Ewoks.
Imagine how intense it's going to get when there's 1 Stormtrooper left.
Yes.
I don't know how, maybe like 10 people. I want to say like 15 people in the game mode, possibly.
It'd have to be even.
I guess more.
I can see it being a 12 or 16.
Yeah, that makes sense. 6 versus 6. But I think they're going to have more Ewoks than Stormtroopers to make it fair at the first of the round.
I don't know. They didn't really say how many each team, because this is in the new game mode. You start as an Ewok or in a group of Stormtroopers.
It'd be awesome if it was really based around your health, and whenever you take damage, you can't regen it unless you use abilities, which would make it even more intense.
I just think it's going to be such a fun game mode. Like, if you are the last Stormtrooper, you're going to be terrified.
And that's only 4 days from now?
Yes. I love all of these limited time game modes. I think it's just a super fun way to have the community come together, and like all of the Jetpack Cargo has been super fun. I can definitely see Ewok Hunt being super fun.
I can't really see this game mode getting old.
I can't either. Like, that's going to be awesome.
There'll be so many variations.
And I've seen a lot of people reaching out on Twitter. A couple have actually sent tweets to our Twitter, which is at SWBP Podcast, saying that they really want something new, that the game modes and just Battlefront 2 has become a little stale recently. So this is going to be a good way to just refresh the community and get them pumped for what's in the future.
But then knowing EA and the DICE team in Battlefront, there's going to be a really powerful side from the beginning. So probably going to be the Ewoks. We might see to where it becomes game breaking and you can't even win with the Stormtroopers.
Yeah, that
is a highly likely possibility.
It's going to be in need of balance, I believe, because that's since it's such a different game mode than they've done before. I can definitely see they're going to be like starting out. It's going to be a little rough.
And this is going to be like a really pushing the squads because you need to stick with your team.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely see like if this stays for the future, this could be the competitive game mode.
Yeah, definitely could see this becoming really competitive.
Because if you have a group of friends, I can totally see this being
Not really
so much fun.
competitive, since if you have a stormtrooper squad, that means your competitive team's going to go to their team, so it could be weird.
I think that's what makes it fun. Now let's continue on to the next section, which is Crystals Will Return and some special appearances. Our April update isn't just about Ewok Hunt. As part of this month's release, Crystals will return to Star Wars Battlefront 2 as one of the ways for fans to unlock appearances, including Endor Leia and Endor Han. Real-world currency can only be used to purchase crystals, which are only redeemable for appearances. Learn more about crystals in our FAQ. Credits are earned through in-game activity and can be redeemed toward appearances as well. Over 50 additional appearances to personalize your units will be made available in this update. Learn more about appearances and rarities and even more details in this update in our community transmission. We have loads more content in the pipeline too.
The crystals are back.
Yep, crystals are back. Like they said from the beginning, like once they took it away, they're like, hey, these are going to be coming back.
Like, I like how they took the in-game in-app purchases, but really they're going to have some way cooler skins for me to start purchasing.
Yeah.
Endor Leia and Han. I know we got Endor Leia for free on Battlefront 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to have to be really, really cool. Not just like Kylo Ren with his hood down.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because Ben Walk, the community manager for Battlefront 2, has said on Twitter that there are going to be legendary skins added and they will add new voice lines and things like that. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be really cool to see how the tiered system for skins will actually pan out.
To make a lot of money, they would like convert or have a whole section of DICE making skins. Because to make it more urgent, they should have like timed skins where it's only available for 12 hours in kind of loops. Kind of like Fortnite, if you know what I'm talking about.
Would you purchase them or would you earn them through gameplay? And that's the question I have.
Maybe they just have some skins that are timed and you can only purchase them. Because that would really draw people to have an incentive to get the skins.
Now, if I think if it's a limited time skin, that they would have to do the challenge kind of thing, just because like it takes away the fun that, oh, it's a limited time game mode, I just need to earn credits and boom, I've got it, or just pay real money. But if it's like a limited time skin that you can only get for like a weekend or so, and you have to play, I think that adds more to it.
Yeah, but I don't really think they'll have every skin available to earn with gameplay rather than purchasing.
Also, along with this, mentioned in the post that we just finished, community transmissions is the new thing on their forums that Forge Ben Walk has been heading. Incoming transmission. Welcome to the very first edition of the Community Transmission, the brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 community update. Moving forward, what can you expect? Our goal is to provide you with the overview of everything that's happening during the month, the new content that's coming, as well as addressing some of your burning questions. Occasionally, we may focus on a specific topic and dedicate an entire edition to just that. We expect the community transmission to evolve over time, and you, our community, are going to be at the heart of this evolution. But enough of the introductions. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's dive straight in. For the first time in Star Wars Battlefront 2, you will be able to play as Ewoks. Take to the Force Moon of Endor in this new game mode, Ewok Hunt. The reason I bring this up is the new appearances that they featured. So here's what's arriving in this update for heroes. Wounded Chewbacca with arm patch from The Force Awakens. Scarred Kylo Ren with the patch over the scar from The Last Jedi. Administrator Lando on Bespin from The Empire Strikes Back. Commander Iden Versio with no helmet. Hooded Yoda, pulled up hood. That's awesome. Endor Leia and Endor Han, and then Octu Rey. So that's pretty cool.
The only skin that I'm going to consider buying is the Senate Palpatine.
The Senate will decide your fate. I am the Senate.
I would love to see the Senate, like, and just have his only voice line be, "I am the Senate."
But so far, adding Chewbacca with an arm patch is totally worth, I think, $20.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of these are just so minuscule that I don't even consider getting these with crystals.
I think that's kind of the point starting out, is not saying, "Oh, hey, look, here's this awesome new skin, but you have to pay this much money for it," or something like that. Now, Hooded Yoda, honestly, I'm not being sarcastic or anything. Pulled up Hood Yoda. I'm definitely into that. Like, that's going to be cool. Again, Iden Versio with no helmet. It's gonna be good, kind of like tie into the campaign, but like other than that, not really like, ooh, I really want that. But I think it's gonna be cool. So on the notion of trooper appearances, heroes aren't the only one getting some new appearances, as troopers are also going to be receiving some brand new looks. We know this is something that many of you have been asking for, so we can't wait to see them in action across the galaxy. In total, there are 40 new trooper appearances, including new officer appearances for both First Order and the Empire. Rebels will be receiving appearances across all trooper classes, including the Heavy Quarren Rebel and the Twilight Specialist. Ooh. The Heavy Sabrak and a Duros officer are just two of the appearances that you'll have available when playing as the Resistance. No mention of Pancake Face. I am sad. But they've only mentioned, let's see here, 2, 4, 6. So there's still like 34
They're
left.
just adding diversity because alien lives matter.
Okay, so in the next update, you'll be able to convert crafting parts to skill points. Simply head into the collection menu, select the hero, class, or vehicle of your choosing, and you'll be able to purchase skill points using your already existing crafting parts. One skill point will cost you 40 crafting parts. Winning a round will provide you a small bonus to the credits you earned, making those wins that little bit extra valuable. Let's see here. In Season 2 and updates, we know that there has been a lot of discussion within our community about the release of Season 2, and we confirm that yes, it is coming. So it is coming. It's coming. As many of you suspected, all of our focus was on the progression update, as we felt this was the most important improvement to the game that we needed to make. As we move forward with Star Wars Battlefront 2, there are two types of content updates that will be releasing. The first is in the same style of Night on Endor, that they're releasing on April 18th. And the second is Seasons. Seasons will focus around a specific theme, such as a new Star Wars film or an anniversary in the Star Wars universe, and will usually span multiple months.
Okay, so that really confirms Solo as the season.
Such as a new Star Wars film. That is like, to me, that is confirmation of a Solo season happening. Because, like, unless they really step up their game, I don't see Battlefront 2 being a huge thing by the release of Episode 9 in 2019.
With how slow they are in the seasons, by the time the next season comes out, there's going to be a new Star Wars movie. And that means we're not going to have any Clone Wars. Because you're telling me that they were so slow that in between the Last Jedi and the Solo movie, that's how long it took. 2 Star Wars movies back to back. Star Wars movies are not that frequent.
Yes. So this is basically confirming that there will be a Star Wars a Solo season. Now, we don't know if it's going to be the next season. If I was them, I would focus on the prequels first, because if they go ahead and do a Solo season, I can see a huge backlash happening.
They are doing the Solo season because they're releasing the season in May.
If they do a Solo season first, I think it'll be... I think a lot of the fans will be upset.
Me too.
I think it'd be interesting for a Solo season. I don't know if there's a whole lot of content there, but I think that they should do a prequels first and then afterwards do a Han Solo. Now I know that
Unless-
kind of messes up like the flow of like the tie-in to the movie, but like as fans of the community, as fans of the game who keep this game going, I think it would be better to prioritize the prequels than a movie a lot of people are iffy about.
But I'm saying here, they are adding a Solo season next. They just said this quote that basically confirms a new Solo movie. A Solo season. And then they also are releasing the season in May.
Yes. So that's another bit of news.
That's the same month that Solo comes out.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be difficult. I think that's going to be a difficult decision for them. I think that if they don't release a Solo season and they would miss the specific tie-in of the month for Solo. But if they release it like in May, on May 4th, they can still do a prequel season, and then maybe the next season will be Solo. I don't know. It's going to be a hard decision.
We should already have, this should be a third season by now. By the way that they, sold and promoted the seasons at the first of the game. They're like, it's going to be more frequent. No, it's not, because we're getting the same amount of seasons as we did in Battlefront 2015.
Yeah, in terms of DLC.
Content.
But if we take a step back and just look at all the content, the updates that have been happening, we have gotten more content more frequently.
Yeah, but this has mostly been fixing their own mistakes, this content.
Well, they've had to. Like, if they didn't, the game would have died. It would have been
I know.
over. Like, we would have no Battlefront 2.
I understand that they have had some delays, but if they just kept with the streamlined of the beginning of the game at the beta and the alpha, we wouldn't be here. Because the beta and the alpha was a perfect game in my opinion. But it happens, so we're going to have to wait through another season that's not prequel stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I think it's just it's a hard decision. I, as a Star Wars fan, would prefer a prequel season over a Solo season, especially since if they do launch it in May, a lot of people will have yet to see the movie, and just from the trailers, I am iffy on the movie. I am very iffy on that. And maybe what I would like to see, rather than just a complete season, have just a Night on Endor style update that's focused on there, that adds skins to Lando and Han, and maybe a limited time game mode based on the Han Solo movie. And leave it at that, and then have the season be prequels.
Yeah, because we already have Lando and Han in the game, so they can't add those. The only thing they can add to those characters are younger skins.
The only the new characters, Kira and then the droid, I don't see them adding them as heroes.
Yeah, they're just not memorable. From the trailers, but we'll see when the movie comes out.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a hard decision either way. I hope that they just go on a minor update based on the Solo movie instead of a whole season, just because I don't think the content is there for a whole season. Especially if they release the season like they've done before the movie.
But then again, the content from The Last Jedi was massive. And they still only added a hero and a villain, a map, and not really even a game mode, because it was just an extension of Galactic Assault.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Upcoming challenges, we've got some they've got challenges coming. Emotes specific challenges. Name is Koti Cha Tu Yub Nub. Date through April 19th to the 22nd. Objective to defeat 25 enemies in Night on Endor, and you get the peekaboo emote. The next one is Fastest Hunk of Junk. It's April 26th through the 29th. The objective is to defeat 10 enemies as a starfighter, and then reward is Chosen One emote. You are the chosen one!
I really like how they're going back to emotes, because that was one of the coolest parts of Battlefront 2015.
Oh yeah, before every match you were emoting it up.
And obviously there were cooler ones than other ones, but I haven't really delved into the emotes because it's not really prevalent at all in the game. It's not a draw because, frankly, I don't even know how to use an emote.
It's on the D-pad, but like you have to go in specifically and go choose it, and sometimes it doesn't choose it. And it just gets annoying. A lot of the times I'll be like, "Ooh, I've got an emote. Let me go in the game and do that." No, you forgot to equip it or it didn't equip. And I'm like, "Oh, no,
But then you
no,
forget.
I'm sad." But I think that's about it for this episode. We've got a lot of content coming. We've got a lot of fun on the horizon. Thank you so much for listening. I've been your host, Sage Goodwin.
I'm Sam Goodwin.
You can follow us on Twitter at SWBP Podcast. Very active there, keeping you up to date on the news as it happens. You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Battlefront Podcast, PayPal, paypal.me/TieDyeSheep, or through Utini, utini.com/Battlefront. And the first three will get a shirt for the Star Wars Battlefront Podcast subscription. You can use code SWP Podcast to get $5 off. We have a YouTube channel.
YouTube.com/The Star Wars Battlefront Podcast.
Our Discord is an awesome place to keep up to date and just talk Battlefront 2. Really fun time. We've got a whole page dedicated to screenshots, and oh my gosh, that is amazing. Really cool stuff there. Another way you can support us without spending any money at all is through leaving us a review on iTunes. It is so helpful. We are so close to 60 reviews on there, which is insane. Like, the amount of support that we've had for the podcast and over the recent months since Battlefront 2 launch has been insane. We've had more support over the last month than we have through like the average of all of last year, which is insane. Thank you so much for supporting us. It helps us so much and keeps us doing the podcast and new things. Like, we've got something huge on the horizon for the podcast, and it's going to be super awesome. You can email us
at battlefrontpodcast@gmail.com.
and you can listen to the show on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. As always,
Thanks for listening.
and may the Force be with you.